Christoph Ratajski tritt an gegen den erfolgreichsten Spieler aus dem deutschsprachigen Raum überhaupt. Der Mann ist aktuell die Nummer 10 der Welt. Er hat ein Riesenjahr 2016 gespielt, gewann das European Tour Turnier von Riesa, stand im Finale der European Darts Championship und er will natürlich auch hier in Sindelfingen nochmal nachlegen. Aus Wien, the gentle Mensur Suljovic.
It is the top man from Austria versus the top man from Poland. Mensur Suljovic versus Krzysztof Ratajski. Ratajski averaging almost 100 in his opening round win against the up-and-coming, exciting young Irish player Steve Lennon. Good win that for Ratajski. You will be seeing lots of this man on the European Tour. We've been seeing lots of him already on the European Tour. He's qualified for the first 4 and number 5 and number 6. The Eastern European qualifier is being dominated by the Polish champion. But Mensur Suljovic is number 3 seed for a reason. He has produced some stunning displays, particularly on the European Tour. It is where he claimed his first and only at the moment PDC title. But he went all the way to the European Championship final last year. Got there as the 2nd seed and justified it by making it all the way to the final, where he was beaten by MVG. 3,000 fans here at the Glaspalast in Sindelfingen to watch the greatest German-speaking dart player in the world right now, Mensur Suljovic.
Ladies and gentlemen, first leg, Mensur to throw first. Game on!
Chris Murphy in the commentary box and me, Dan Dawson, for this one.
I'm sure that was an ambition of his, Dan, to be the greatest German-speaking dart player. But it's one that's been fulfilled. And yes, Krzysztof Ratajski has been fabulous in qualifying for every European Tour event he's tried to qualify for so far this year, giving no one else in Poland a chance.
16.
Mensur Suljovic, as you mentioned, was the 2nd best player on the European Tour last year and the 2nd best player in the European Championship itself. But we've seen the number 4 seed and the number 6 seed in Whitlock and Wade eliminated from this tournament. We're about to see 3, 2 and 1 in consecutive matches. Will any of them go the same way? Suljovic hasn't been beaten at this stage of the European Tour event since September 2015.
Well, Ratajski, even though he has qualified for all the European Tour events so far this year, he has not gone past the last 32 stages yet. Could this be the time? And he must feel some sort of, the pressure is off a bit, because the way they do these qualifiers, they're doing 3 at a time. He qualified for the first 3 all on the same night, qualified for the next 3 all on the same night, and so he gets to come into this thinking, well look, I know I'm going to be at the next 2, and it's only some of the top seeds who know that they can be in whichever tournaments they want. The other guys have got to come through various qualifiers that might be held later down the line. They might think, this is my last chance for a while.
Had this conversation with Paul Nicholson yesterday, and he concurred to your line of thinking there, Dan, as Suljovic lands double 18 to take the first leg. But yeah, when you're an unseeded player, especially coming through the UK and European qualifiers, you're not sure when you're next going to appear on the European Tour stage, and that in itself brings a bit of added pressure. Okay, for this one, they did the qualifiers for Gibraltar on the same night, so some players know that they'll definitely be playing next weekend as well. The other side of it is not a lot of players like doing 2 in 1 night.
Hey, look, with 25 grand on offer for the winner, and when, you know, go back 3 years and we had 8 different winners from 8 events, it is quite possible that you see new winners on the European Tour. Okay, Michael van Gerwen has dominated over the last few years, but other guys have stepped up. Mensur Suljovic won his first PDC title on the European Tour, and Mensur Suljovic has fired in a 180 as he looks to break the Ratajski throw. Winner of this will face Joe Cullen, who was not spectacular, but was very, very good at taking out some crunch clutch finishes against Johnny Clayton. Made a very dangerous opponent look rather timid by the end of it. Won it 6-1. Ulf, 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 Ulf. 3,000 German fans doing a Seal impression there in honour of Ulf Ceder, the Finn, who we will see in the third round tomorrow afternoon. Ceder, a winner against Cristo Reyes earlier. Ratajski missing out
25
on his first maximum. 86 for Mensur, can do it in 2 darts. It's on. And it's there. It's an 11 dart break of throw. And Mensur Suljovic has started this in the manner of somebody who is number 3 seed for this tournament. Dominating in the early stages. However, Chris, we like to dig around the stats and see when players have met each other in the past, see if we could read anything into what's happened in their recent history. What has happened between these two when they've met before?
Well, the pair have met twice in the final of a European Championship.
Really?
Yeah, Christoph Ratajski won both of those finals. And I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah, they were using slightly different equipment. This is soft tip.
82.
Soft tip darts, very big in mainland Europe, very big out in the Far East as well. A lot of soft tip played, especially here in Germany, but Austria and Poland, all over in fact.
99.
Majority of darts bars you go into, you often find that soft tip machines outnumber steel tip boards. And Mensur did play a lot of soft tip stuff. He's a guy who started on soft tip and moved over to steel tip. But the 2 times that he has met Christoph Ratajski, 2005 and 2008, both in finals, both in European Championship final stage events. He was beaten. The gentle out for some revenge tonight.
Certainly is, and the first steel tip meeting between the pair. And I'll tell you what, Mensur Suljovic is serving it up to Christoph Ratajski so far. Averaging well in excess of 100 after 2.5 legs. Ratajski a long way behind in that department. And he could well find himself 3 legs down if Suljovic can take out a big finish.
Oof, just a little bit high.
60.
But not the end of the world that he only comes away with 60 because he does leave a 2-darter. Christoph Ratajski needs to find the treble. Does find the treble. Double top. Oh, sneaks it in the corner. It is a break back for Ratajski.
Both leg, Christoph the throw first. Game on.
Well, that was snuck in that top corner, as you said, Dan. Footballer would have been proud of one like that. But Ratajski, we're proud of that visit. 139 to kick off this leg, and all of a sudden it looked like Suljovic was running away with it. The pole has pegged him back.
Well, look, Ratajski, although he doesn't play any other PDC stuff, the way he's going, I mean, he's going to, at the end of this tour, even if he lost this game to Mensur Suljovic, he'd have still won 7 grand of PDC prize money. That puts him round about the top 100 in the world. He's above the likes of Ryan the Lion Palmer and Adam Hunt. And we know he's going to pick up more money in the next 2 events. And the way that he is dominating qualifying, he could well not only keep on pushing up those rankings, but he is very, very likely to go on and make the European Championship final itself. That's guaranteed a few £1,000s the first round, and he could well have a run. I mean, he's played major tournaments. He played the Lakeside just a few months ago, and he made the second round. He was only beaten in the deciding set by Darius Labanauskas.
Yeah, if you just look at it without taking into account how little he plays in the PDC, it seems like something of a mismatch, because before this tournament was 105 places below his opponent in the world rankings. It doesn't really tell the story.
No, well look, evidently Christoph Ratajski is not a man who right now wants to be spending every other weekend at the Barnsley Metrodome. Now that is his right, I cannot understand that decision. They've got a pirate themed water park, but he has decided that he doesn't want to do that. So he's not done Q school, he's played these European qualifiers and he has acquitted himself very well.
I just prefer the big stage. No signs of stage fright. He's about to give Mensah a fright though.
Don't bust it, Mensah.
83.
There we go.
Christoph, you require 84.
84 then to level up. Straight in the treble. And he clip it off.
Game shown, the full flag.
He could just chuck it straight in. And from 2-0 down to the number 3 seed and the European Championship runner-up of last year, the second best player in the whole European Tour system of darts,
100.
Christoph Ratajski, the Eastern European qualifier, has levelled the match at 2 apiece and is giving as good as he's getting, even if the averages,
100.
There's a bit of a difference between them. When I say a bit, I mean 20 points.
More than. Yeah, just like to just remind us that he can hit whatever he wants, Suljovic, doesn't he, with his use of the bull.
I think that's his old soft tip days shining through. They love a bullseye, the soft tip players.
Well, it never did him any good against Ratajski, did it?
It didn't. You're right. You're quite right. And maybe Christoph should remind him of that. I would point out that Mensah Suljovic, despite losing those 2 European Championship soft tip titles to Christoph Ratajski, he did win several anyway. In fact, one of those denied Suljovic defending that title. The other one, it denied him winning it for a 3rd time in 4 years. There are 2 different codes who are running the tournaments, but Mensah was a very, very successful soft tip player, and we always knew he had talent. You know, we saw him turn up at the Worlds a few years back and looked a dangerous player, an awkward player, a confusing player to watch.
59.
But one we have come to know and love and respect, because he has got better and better and better and is now a genuine threat in big tournaments. Ooh, we nearly bust it there. But he hits double top. It has been a tournament of silly busts and almost more silly busts.
We have seen some things on the European Tour, haven't we? But yeah, Henderson in the previous match. Not quite up there with the Devon Peterson style of busting.
No, we do like. Devon is always good for a miscalculation. Not always, but just occasionally.
He once did an ultimate showboat bust where the dart that he bust with fell out of the board.
Big Dev. Not here this weekend.
140.
We'll be seeing Devon at the World Cup of Darts. We'll be seeing Christoph at the World Cup of Darts for Poland. We will be seeing Mensah at the World Cup of Darts for Austria.
95.
And of course that World Cup of Darts here in Germany.
Frankfurt at the start of next month.
And it is a hotbed, isn't it, for darts fans, Germany. They come out in their droves to watch these Aerosmiths.
3,000 in here tonight. Similar number for tomorrow with a final day of action here at the Happy Bet European Darts Grand Prix. Will Mensah Suljovic be competing in that final day, looking for a 2nd PDC title? Well, right now he's got a battle on his hands, because the Polish champion, who's beaten him in 2 soft tip finals and may look at the bullseye here.
145.
Love a bullseye, the soft tippers.
Yeah, it's a good leave.
95.
He could have left whatever he wanted because Suljovic,
57.
he's not in town at the minute. Double top.
Game shown at 6
Solid
leg.
stuff. Six legs shared.
7th leg, Mensah.
Suljovic should open up that 2-leg cushion early on and look to run away with it. But it's not going to be like that for the gentle.
58.
Certainly not looking that way.
This is a man, we talk about him being the second best player on the European Tour last year. This is a man who made it to at least the quarterfinals in every event. In fact, when he didn't make it to the quarters of the European darts tournament in Jena, that was the first time in well over a year.
That's
64.
That is an astonishing record.
Lost to Kyle Anderson there.
When you've seen some of the standard of darts that have been produced
60.
by unseeded players, and indeed, you know, he could face Joe Cullen in the next round if he gets through this. Well, he will face Joe Cullen if he gets through this. I mean, Joe Cullen, I recall, in this very venue 2 years ago, denied Raymond van Barneveld a place in the quarterfinals, even though Barney averaged 111. Joe Cullen talked about that earlier on today. He said that was kind of the start of my second coming. I averaged 110. I beat Barney on this stage, beat him 6-2. You average 111, you only get 2 legs. So to actually make it through to a quarterfinal in every single event, I mean, it's just an astonishing achievement. I know not everybody's throwing 110 averages at you, but people are throwing big, big stuff at you, and you have to deal with it. And it's some big stuff from Christoph Ratajski to get to a finish before Mensah.
And we've been saying that the soft tippers love a bullseye. Or Ratajski could be shooting at one. As he steps up, hitting 161. Once Suljovic has stumbled out of the way. And he might get a dart.
It is on. Oh, fraction away. But a great set-up shot in the end. And Mensah Suljovic will hope for 2 darts for the leg. May get 1, should get 1. Needs a single 20 to get any at all. That's what he's got. 1 dart at tops. And 1 dart at tops is all he needs. And the Mensah headbutt, it's a double headbutt, because you know it's an important one if he brings out the double headbutt.
Game on.
Yeah, clinical curl from Suljovic. Mentioned that run was ended of reaching quarterfinals in Jena, but he has reached the last 8 in the other 2 European Tour events this year. Beaten by Gerwin Price in Hildesheim and Jelle Klaassen in Saarbrücken. And that's what he's found, isn't it, Mensah Suljovic, over the last couple of years? A level of consistency that just was not there before.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Well, I think he's also raised his overall level, because Mensah is a guy. I talked about Raymond van Barneveld losing with 111 average. Mensah Suljovic has beaten Marco van Gerwen when he's been throwing 110 plus. In fact, that was at the same tournament I'm talking about. At this venue, at the Glaspalast, Marco van Gerwen 111 average, Mensah Suljovic 109 and won it 6-4. That was a game where they were barging into each other at the water table and all kinds of antics. It was phenomenal entertainment. Oh. Ratajski, he keeps firing a couple of darts into the treble bed. And look at that average. It was 20 points difference in the average. It is now closed to around about 8.
Just decides to play a game of musical statues before Ratajski can have a shot of this 161, and he's put him right off. Lovely little trick, Mensah.
Absolutely superb stuff from that. Mensah Suljovic throws his darts and butts his head, hits the treble, 19 bed, Vogue. Oh, look what he's left. It's the Mensah! Does he miss the Mensah? He does miss the Mensah. 2 darts at it. He missed 7 darts at it and went out the tournament last time in Saarbrücken.
We've seen some strange legs of darts involving Mensah Suljovic. That is right up there. Frozen mid-throw, misses double 14, almost loses a leg.
Mensah, you require 14.
Double 7. And there it is. The bonus about leaving double 14 a lot is you get some good practice on double 7 eventually. And that leg, that weird leg from Mensah Suljovic may be the one that turns this match in his favour. Ratajski had his chances, but Mensah Suljovic is now thrown for the match and a place in the last 16.
I'll tell you what, if he was playing one of the speedier players, he might have had a dart in the back of his head then.
Look at that. 71% on the doubles from Mensah Suljovic, and the 2 that he's missed were at double 14. Is this Mensah Suljovic?
99.
Is there another giant Austrian man who throws in this exact manner and headbutts imaginary opponents in celebration, but just doesn't hit double 14? Oh, Mensah.
Well, he's doing a pretty good impersonation, whoever he is.
It could be Joe Cullen. He does some blinding impressions of dart players. But I think even Mensah, an impression of Mensah this good might be beyond even the powers of the rock star. Christoph Ratajski, he has battled and fought gamely in this one. He has had his chances. Had he levelled at 4 apiece in that last leg, that odd, furious leg where he was seemingly distracted by the statuesque celebration from Mensah Suljovic. Had he levelled at 4 apiece, it could be a very different scenario we are looking at right now. But as it is at least 6 darts from 161 for Mensah Suljovic for a 6-3 win. And these soft tip players love a bullseye.
36.
He's not happy with himself, Mensah Suljovic. Almost beat himself up. Ratajski going to make sure he's placed on a finish.
36.
As Mensah can't finish a job, but Mensah usually does finish a job.
Double 8 will finish the job.
Nine score.
But only if you hit it.
Christoph, you require 100.
But I haven't finished it yet. And Ratajski gets a shot of the 1-2-3, and he finds a treble 19. And he finds a treble 16. And he finds the double 9. And it's not over yet. Suljovic misses match dart.
Christoph, the throw first.
Ratajski breaks.
1 dart missed on the bull. 2 darts missed on double 8. And now the question is, Mensah, should you have gone for the big finish? Should you have just laid up and left yourself something else?
100.
Because Christoph Ratajski, with some iron ring stuff, a 1-2-3 checkout to save his skin and remain in the tournament, he is throwing to take it to a deciding leg.
60.
This game looked done and dusted. It is far from done or dusted. Because the Polish champion has fired in a ton 40. And look at the averages now, just closing up again, although this might push them a bit further apart.
And he's actually got a better checkout percentage than Suljovic now.
2 missed at double 14, 2 at double 8, and 1 at the bullseye. But Ratajski, he's flowing! He is flowing! The first 180, been threatening to fire in one of those for quite some time. Mensah might have one back. It's only a ton 40, but Christoph Ratajski, for his best leg of the match, he's got to go 12 ball. He can't let Mensur have another go at the 161, can he?
Well, he's having a think, and he's beaten Suljovic a couple of times before.
Oh, dear me.
And he's decided to play a mind game with a man who he's got the better of in a different game. But now Suljovic has got a chance at 161. Hasn't any more. It probably won't matter.
65.
But it was a little bit cheeky.
Christoph, you require.
It was bold when he's just missed the bullseye in the last leg. But he has to take it out to vindicate the decision to do it. And he hasn't done that. And Mensur's looking at 96 for the match. It has been a strange one, this. It has been a strange one, but an entertaining one. And 99 for Mensur will seal the deal. And the Gentle continues his record of not losing at this stage of a Euro Tour for a couple of years. What a game of darts we've just seen. Christoph Ratajski taking the defeat graciously. Perhaps a man who knows he will be back on the Euro Tour, not only next week, but in the next tournament as well. A first win for Mensur against Christoph Ratajski, a man who beat him in 2 European Championship finals in the soft hit version of darts. Ratajski battled well, did himself credit, but Mensur Suljovic, the number 3 seed, will face Joe Cullen, and what a game we could have tomorrow afternoon. What a game we've got coming up now, though. It's ruthless James Richardson against a man this crowd here in Sindelfingen will go wild for. It's the world number 3, Peter Snakebite Wright.
Setzliste damit also weiter im Turnier. Ja. Und er hat viele Geschenke mitgebracht. Viele Flights in seinem Täschchen dabei. Mensur, ich gratuliere dir. Das war ein Arbeitssieg. Uns hat Christoph gestern noch gesagt, Mensur kenne ich schon so lange. Wir haben im EDAT so oft gegeneinander gespielt. Und damals war es immer so, mal habe ich gewonnen, mal hat er gewonnen. Er kann, es war für ihn vielleicht auch einfacher, dann so einen großen Namen zu spielen.
Der Christoph hat absolut dieser super Spieler, wie es seit Jahren. Einmal besiegt er mich, einmal besiege ich ihm diese Elektronik. Aber jetzt haben wir bei Stillard wieder. Ich habe Gott sei Dank meine Namen verteidigt jetzt, muss ich ehrlich sagen. Aber Christoph ist ein wirklich Weltklasse-Spieler. Er ist absolut super Spieler. Er hat gestern ein 100er Average gespielt. Und ich vergönne ihm von Herzen, weil er ist ja wirklich ein Freund von mir und ich mag überhaupt nicht gegen Freunde spielen, muss ich ehrlich sein.
Mensur, ich habe eben noch, als du gespielt hast, gedacht, ich glaube, es ist 2 Jahre her, da hast du hier auf dieser Bühne gegen Michael van Gerwen gespielt. Van Gerwen damals mit einem 110er Average. War das eines dieser Matches, die dir damals auch schon gezeigt haben, das könnte funktionieren mit diesem Schritt ganz vorne in die Top 10 rein?
Heutzutage die Klasse ist absolut, jeder Spieler spielt fast 110 Average. Da muss man ehrlich, Respekt von Michael, der spielt immer konstanteste. Wir spielen immer 100, 105 und auf einmal 94. Das ist leider zu wenig für diese Klasse. Aber wir bleiben dran und es ist absolut Respekt von jedem Spieler, was er über 100 spielt, das ist absolut klasse.
Du hast im EDAT eine Zeit lang in der Region hier gespielt, ne? Das ist so ein bisschen zurückkommen dahin, wo du schon mal aktiv warst.
Stuttgart ist fast meine Heimat. Ich habe da Elektronik dort gespielt und die sind absolut die Besten. Ich habe so viele Freunde da drinnen, aber ich sehe leider nicht. Aber ich möchte wirklich Stuttgart von Herzen begrüßen. Ich habe super Jahre da gehabt und ich habe wirklich gute Dart gespielt und super Dartspieler gibt es aus Stuttgart-Umgebung und einfach Respekt von allen.
Mensur, schön, dass du im Turnier bist, stehst im Achtelfinale. Mensur Suljovic sehen wir morgen wieder. Die Nummer 3 der Setzliste hier beim Happy Bad European Darts Grand Prix 2017. Und jetzt nimmt das Ganze